Good morning, Teak Tigers. It is time for another science lesson. We are finished with checkpoint 1 and checkpoint 2. So if you have not submitted those to your teachers for feedback, you're behind. And we need to really get going because we are starting today on checkpoint 3. And it is we're really starting our actual first part of our actual science fair project today. We've got to brainstorm topics of interest. First advice on science topic, on coming up with your own topic to do your project on, is don't panic. It'll come, okay? We'll help you get one if you're having a hard time coming up with something. Don't worry about it. Okay, so to brainstorm topics of interest, first you want to choose a topic that will interest and challenge you. If it's not interesting to you, don't pick it because you're gonna fight it the whole way. Make sure it's challenging to you as well. We always want to push ourselves. Think of things like sports, circuits, plants, consumer science, health, technology, mathematics, and anything else that interests you, okay? So anything that comes from these are great things that you can do your projects on. And it's just a matter of finding out that testable question. But we're going to brainstorm topics first, okay? So second thing is, don't be afraid to try something new, okay? So maybe you're kind of interested in it, you're not sure, but you think it might be really interested. Don't be afraid to try something new. Don't, if you've done if you've tested the absorbency of diapers and paper towels, I mean, those are great projects, but don't think you have to do that every time. Try something new. Try something that, you really are interested in. You're going to learn about it along the way. That's where our research comes in. Okay, you might find you enjoy an area you never would have picked otherwise. So you might have thought that you were only interested in things like lab science, like the sink and float stuff, but you find that you're really interested in the circuits, or you're interested in sports. So pick something. You can pick something that you've never that you wouldn't think of that. It's good to like broaden your horizons. So, did you know? Remember that complicated looking projects do not mean that they are better, okay? So you can make a project that is about testing the absorbency of paper towels. As basically simple as that is, if you can make the project, if you design it and test it well, that can be just as good as something that's just really complicated that you're having to build and do all this stuff with. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the complicated looking projects are better than things that are more basic. Simple topics can actually turn into great projects. Number 4, do not choose a topic that is so open-ended that you will not make much progress. So don't choose a topic that ends up causing you to ask more and more questions. Well, what if I do this? What if I do that? Okay, those tend to be too open-ended, and you're going to start spinning your wheels, and you're not going to come to, you're not going to make much progress because you're going to keep asking more questions. Okay, so we want to narrow your topic down to exactly to the topic and what you want to know about that topic. Focus on one aspect of a topic to narrow down what you'll work on. So if you choose sports, you're not just going to work on basketball. You're going to work on something about basketball, something about, maybe how high the ball bounces based upon how much air is in the ball, or different sizes of balls, or something like that. So narrow down exactly what you want to brainstorm about, or what you want your topic to be. For example, let's say you want to create the world's first extremely intelligent robot. There's no way you'll be able to complete this project in a year. Instead, you might pick one small part of the programming to work on. You could then emphasize how your piece fits into the building of a robot. Well, guys, we don't have a year to do a project. You have the first part of this project is due October 9th, and the rest of the project is due by the end of the in I believe November, okay, November or early December. So we're talking about your whole science project, okay, just like you did last year. And then there's a step further that we go here in fourth grade with Summit. All right, so here's some websites that you can look at that might help you come up with something that you think of that's interesting that you might not have thought about before. So go through, these are links, so you can go through these links and click on them. This is something that's appropriate to do in school. I'm going to attach this slide deck to the Google Classroom so you can have these links to look at, because they're just have some good ideas in them. You don't have to come up with something from here. You can come up with something on your own if you wish. So the next thing you're going to do is, so we want to kind of organize ourselves. We want to create a mind web, a mind map, a concept map, or a bubble map to kind of organize our thoughts. So this would be an example of I think a bubble map. This is like a mind web or a concept map. And here's an example of what you would do. So if my main thing I'm interested in is sports, so I'm put that in the middle. Okay, so that's going to help me think of all these spokes that come off of this bubble map. I want to think about sports. So, basketball, I like basketball. I like football, soccer, golf, baseball, running, or you may have some others that you think of. Okay, so so those are some things that you can, you want to narrow it down to one topic. So you have this note taker in your Google Classroom that you're going to pick your topic of interest and then brainstorm around it. And actually, I believe it has the topic already filled in for you. And then there's some that you can come up with on your own. So you're going to select one topic of interest and fill out your science investigations journal. So you should have the science investigations journal. That should be it. This right here is what it looks like on the front, but it fills the whole page. So you at home have this. You were given this in your packet. Those of you at school should have already brought this, but so hopefully you have it, and you can fill in your bubble map. And then that is all you're doing for now, okay? I'm going to go back so I don't have to look at that. So that's what we're doing right now. It's just brainstorming our topics of interest that we think we might want to do a project on. And then I'll show you the next step from there tomorrow. So think clearly and think about things that you really, really like and narrow it down. Have a good day, Tigers.